Hi, I'm Grace. My classroom of third graders feels like a distant memory now that I'm spending my days measuring morphine doses and scheduling hospice visits. My mother, Martha, has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and her bedroom has transformed into a medical ward with its own particular rhythm of medication alarms and oxygen machine hums. Mom, it's time for your pain meds, I say, gently waking her from a fitful sleep. Her once vibrant face now gaunt and yellowed. Already? Feels like I just took them. Her voice is barely a whisper these days. That was 4 hours ago. The doctor said we need to stay ahead of the pain, remember? I check my phone again. Still nothing from Vanessa. My sister hasn't returned my last 6 calls. I dial her number as I organize Martha's afternoon medications into their little containers. Straight to voicemail. Again. Hey, Vanessa, it's me. Mom had a rough night. The doctor thinks we might need to adjust her care plan. Could really use your help. Or at least a call back. It's been weeks. I hang up, knowing it's probably useless. I've left similar messages that disappear into whatever void Vanessa has created between herself and our dying mother. Was that your sister? Martha asks, hope flickering across her face. Just leaving her a message. I'm sure she's just busy with work. Of course she is. She's always been so ambitious. The sadness in Martha's eyes betrays her words. My principal calls while I'm changing Martha's bedsheets. Grace, I hate to ask this, but we need to know about next semester. The substitute is struggling. I can't come back yet. Mom's getting worse. Your unpaid leave has already extended beyond what we discussed. I'm trying to work with you, but I understand. If you need to fill my position permanently, I get it. There goes my job security. 8 years building my classroom, gone. But what choice do I have? Later, I sit beside Martha's bed, holding her frail hand as she sleeps. My dating app pings with a message I won't answer. That relationship ended last month when he got tired of canceled dates and hospital waiting rooms. Grace? Martha's eyes flutter open. Is Vanessa coming today? Not today, Mom, but Eleanor is stopping by with dinner. Eleanor, Mom's oldest friend, has been my only consistent support. She arrives with homemade lasagna and a tight hug. Any word from Hurricane Vanessa? She asks, helping me organize the refrigerator filled with untouched casseroles from well-meaning neighbors. Radio silence, as usual. That girl. I don't understand how you two came from the same womb. 2 weeks later, Martha's breathing becomes more labored. The hospice nurse increases her medication, saying it won't be long now. I call Vanessa 3 more times. Nothing. On a rainy Tuesday afternoon, with only me holding her hand, Martha takes her final breath. The room feels suddenly empty in a way I can't describe. I call Vanessa one last time. Mom's gone, is all I say when she finally answers. Oh, I was just about to visit this weekend, she replies, her voice oddly flat. The lie hangs between us like a wall I no longer have the energy to climb. The funeral home was packed with Martha's friends, former colleagues, and neighbors. I stood numbly by the casket, accepting hugs and condolences, when a commotion erupted at the entrance. My mother! Oh my God, my mother! Vanessa burst through the doors in a dramatic display that turned every head. She wore an expensive black dress I'd never seen before, and oversized sunglasses despite the cloudy day. Her husband Richard trailed behind, his hand on her lower back as if steadying her for a performance. I can't believe she's gone! My poor mother! She collapsed into a nearby chair, shoulders heaving with sobs that seemed perfectly timed. People who didn't know better rushed to comfort her. I just stared, my grief suddenly contaminated with disgust. Quite the entrance, Eleanor whispered, appearing at my side. Should we get her an Oscar or a Tony? I'm too tired for this. Vanessa spotted me and made her way over, dabbing at dry eyes beneath her sunglasses. Grace, I'm absolutely devastated. The shock of it all. Shock? Mom was diagnosed 11 months ago. She lowered her voice. Don't make a scene. This is hard enough. Hard? You haven't seen her since last Christmas. Richard stepped forward. Vanessa has been deeply affected by all this. She cried for days when she heard. When she heard? I called her as it was happening. Vanessa quickly changed subjects. Have you spoken with anyone about the house yet? We should list it before the market cools. My jaw dropped. Mom isn't even in the ground. I'm just being practical. We both need to move on. The reception after the burial wasn't any better. Vanessa worked the room like a politician, accepting sympathies and sharing stories about Martha that sounded rehearsed. I overheard her telling Martha's bridge club friends how she'd been too overwhelmed to visit. The doctors advised me to prepare from a distance. It was just too much seeing her that way. Eleanor grabbed my arm. Did you hear that garbage? She's spinning quite the tale. She told Aunt Patty she was calling Mom daily. Mom's phone didn't ring once except when I called. Later, Vanessa cornered me by the dessert table. We need to talk about timelines. Richard knows a great realtor who can have the house on the market by next week. I'm not selling Mom's house. Don't be ridiculous. You can't afford to keep it, and I need my half. Need? What happened to your big marketing executive salary? Vanessa's perfect mask slipped. That's none of your business. We're entitled to equal shares. After you disappeared when she needed you most? She leaned in close. Listen, I had my reasons for staying away. Don't act so high and mighty because you played nurse. We both know you did it to get in good with Mom. I nearly choked. Are you serious right now? I've already spoken with a few relatives about helping clear the place out this weekend. You have no right. Equal rights, little sister. 50-50. As people finally left, I found myself alone in Martha's study, surrounded by her things. While sorting through her desk, I found a business card for Mr. Harrison, her lawyer. Handwritten on the back were the words, "Call immediately after funeral, important." Eleanor found me staring at the card. What's that? Mom's lawyer. She left instructions to call him after the funeral. Do it now. Whatever it is, you might need it to deal with Hurricane Vanessa. You think she knew Vanessa would pull this? Your mother wasn't blind, honey. She saw who showed up and who didn't. Mr. Harrison's office was exactly what you'd expect from a lawyer who'd been practicing for 40 years. Wood paneling, leather chairs, and the faint smell of pipe tobacco. He greeted me with a firm handshake. Grace, thank you for coming so promptly. Your mother was very specific about timing. What's this about? He pulled out a thick folder. Martha made significant changes to her will during her illness. She was very clear-headed about her decisions. What kind of changes? She revised the distribution of assets after evaluating who was there for her during her final months. My stomach tightened. Mr. Harrison slid a document across his desk. This will be formally read next week, but your mother wanted you to know in advance. I skimmed the pages, my eyes widening. Is this legal? Completely. We documented her mental competency and her reasoning. Later that day, I stopped by Aunt Patty's house to pick up some old family photos. What I overheard through the kitchen door made me freeze. It was so expensive, but Vanessa wired me money every month for Martha's medical bills, Vanessa was saying. Grace was there physically, but I handled the financial burden. My blood boiled. I'd drained my savings and taken on credit card debt to cover what insurance didn't. Vanessa hadn't contributed a dime. I snapped pictures of all Mom's medical bills and bank statements that night. Every payment, every withdrawal, all with my name. I found the hospice care contract with only my signature, the unpaid leave documentation from school, the calendar marked with hundreds of doctor appointments that I'd driven her to. What are you going to do with all this? Eleanor asked when I explained my evidence collection. I'm not sure yet, but I need to be ready when Vanessa tries something. I didn't have to wait long. Vanessa organized a family support gathering at Mom's house that weekend. Relatives from both sides attended, ostensibly to share memories of Martha. I'm setting up a memorial fund for cancer patients, Vanessa announced, holding court in the living room. After covering Mom's treatments myself, I understand the financial strain families face. I nearly choked on my drink. Eleanor wasn't as restrained. That's fascinating, Vanessa. Especially since Grace here maxed out 2 credit cards paying for your mother's care. The room went silent. You don't know what you're talking about, Vanessa said, her smile stiffening. I was here every day for 11 months. Where were you? I was managing things behind the scenes. Like what? Name one doctor, one medication, one treatment protocol? Vanessa fumbled. I don't need to prove anything to you. Tell them about the 6 figures in medical bills Grace covered, Eleanor continued. Or maybe about how you never once picked up the phone when your mother asked for you. You're making a scene, Richard interjected. And you're both lying, Eleanor fired back. Vanessa recovered quickly, dabbing at non-existent tears. This grief is affecting everyone differently. Eleanor is clearly confused. Later, after everyone left, I found myself in Mom's bedroom, still filled with the hospital bed and medical equipment. I opened her nightstand, looking for her reading glasses, and found a leather-bound journal instead. I hesitated before opening it. These were Mom's private thoughts. But the first page caught my eye. My daughters, a study in contrasts. I sat on the edge of the bed and began reading. Entry after entry detailed Mom's thoughts during her illness, her gratitude for my care, her increasing disappointment in Vanessa, her hurt at being abandoned. Vanessa hasn't called in 3 months, one entry read. I've stopped making excuses for her. Some people show their true colors when things get difficult. I've made my decision about what happens after I'm gone. The law office was packed when I arrived. Vanessa and Richard sat at the front, whispering. She glanced at me with a smirk that made my blood boil. Eleanor squeezed my hand supportively as Mr. Harrison cleared his throat. Before reading the will, Martha Wilson requested we play this video for everyone present. She was quite insistent. Mom appeared on screen, her face thin, but her eyes clear and determined. I want to explain my decisions clearly in my own words. During my illness, I learned who truly loved me and who merely claimed to. Grace put her entire life on hold to care for me. She managed medications, drove me to every appointment, and sacrificed her job, relationships, and financial security. Vanessa, despite her financial ability and my repeated requests, chose not to visit once during my 11-month illness. She rarely called, and when she did, she was always too busy. This isn't about punishment, but acknowledging reality. The video ended. Several relatives wiped tears. Mr. Harrison opened the will document. The family home at 1432 Maple Street, all contents, and 85% of financial assets go to Grace Wilson. The remaining 15% to Vanessa Cooper. Vanessa jumped up, face flushed. This is ridiculous. She was clearly manipulated. I was working to support this family while Grace played nurse. I deserve half. That's enough, Aunt Patty said, her voice shaking. Your mother just told us the truth. I stood and distributed my evidence folder. Medical bills with my payment records, bank statements showing withdrawals for treatments, unpaid leave documentation, screenshots of dozens of unanswered texts to Vanessa, detailed medication schedules, and a notarized statement from Mom's oncologist. This confirms Vanessa never once attended an appointment, called for updates, or contributed to her care in any way, I explained. Not a single penny. Uncle Robert stared at the documents. You told me you were handling all the medical bills and visiting 3 times a week? And you told Grandma you took unpaid leave from your job, Cousin Jessica added, her voice rising. This is all twisted. Vanessa looked around frantically, mascara starting to run. Mom was confused from the drugs. Grace manipulated her for the inheritance. I pulled out Mom's leather journal. Her own words, dated throughout her illness. She wasn't confused, Vanessa. She finally saw you clearly. Vanessa lunged for the journal. You forged that. This whole thing is a setup. Richard grabbed her arm. We're leaving. Our lawyer will contact you. We're contesting this. Everything is properly documented, Mr. Harrison replied calmly, including video recordings of your mother's competency evaluations. As they stormed out, relatives approached with apologies and support. Many admitted Vanessa had extensively lied about her involvement. 6 months later, I stood addressing the first recipients of the Martha Wilson Caregiver Support Foundation grants. The money would help 15 families caring for loved ones with cancer. Eleanor sat beaming in the front row, wearing a pin with Mom's photo. I hadn't heard from Vanessa since her failed attempt to contest the will. According to family gossip, Richard had left her, and she'd been ostracized from family gatherings. My mother taught me that true love shows up, I told the audience. This foundation honors those who show up every day for the people who need them most. That's the end of Grace's story. Would you ever forgive a sibling who abandoned your dying parent and then tried to claim their inheritance? Or do you believe some betrayals are simply unforgivable, no matter what? If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge stories about toxic family members and the sweet justice they deserve. Your comments help me know which stories you want to hear next.